All right, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and push record now. We have more members that have registered than are able to get into this room. So if you need to leave for whatever reason, don't close out your screen because there's going to be somebody that's going to click and take your seat. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. This class is on how to attract more members to your tennis club, tips, hacks, and value bombs. This is my least favorite slide, but I do have to go over this so you know who is speaking. My name is Mike Volkin. I am a serial entrepreneur. I have built and sold 3 companies. I have written 5 books, 1 bestseller. I've gotten lots of press over the years, and I am the owner of Tennis Club Marketing. Tennis is my passion. It's what I live for, and marketing is my passion. It's what I live for, and I get the fortunate pleasure to combine both of my passions into one business. This is my business, Tennis Club Marketing, powerful, effective, and targeted marketing for tennis clubs. So let's go ahead and dive right in, shall we? And by the way, I am going to be talking a little bit faster than normal because we have a lot of material to cover, and I promise you guys I'm going to keep this under 30 minutes. So let's go ahead and get going. This is what you're going to learn in today's webinar. Why your website might be hurting you and how to fix it. What your competition isn't doing and how you can get a leg up. We're going to talk a little bit about a secret marketing method to convert prospects into members, and it costs less than $6. And then how to blog correctly to get traffic. And we're going to also talk a little bit more about some other things, but those are the main topics. So what your website might be hurting, why your website might be hurting you, and how to fix it. So we got this cheesy quote at the bottom, you must be a tennis player because I'm about to court you. And that actually has relevance to what I'm about to show you. Okay, your brand is how your potential customers view you. All right, your brand is how you're exuded to your potential customers and the traffic you get online and offline. But let's talk about online for a minute. The web has evolved and first impressions do matter. Okay, your first impression to most people is your website. Now, a recent study of 1,200 people concluded that 66% of the respondents wouldn't do business with a local company if their website was bad. 66%. Now imagine losing 66% of your business without ever having a chance to talk to your prospects. That's what's happening every day to your website if your website is not up to par. There's no excuses anymore. There's tons of free or almost free WordPress templates. Now, WordPress may or may not be something you're familiar with. It's a platform to build your website, but you can go get a template for free or nearly free on a company called ThemeForest. There's actually lots of companies around. I'm not pushing one company or another, but I've used ThemeForest before. You can get tons of templates, $60 or less, and they look beautiful. They're very well above the normal grade, and it's certainly above what a normal tennis club would have for their website. So go ahead and check that out. And the best part is you don't have to learn how to WordPress. If you have a few dollars, just pass it off to a WordPress designer. They're everywhere. There's lots of websites where you can find WordPress designers. Check out Upwork, UPWORK, or Fiverr, FIVERR. Okay, that's why I said have a pen and paper, because not all my tips are on PowerPoint. I think it's pretty boring sometimes just to read from a PowerPoint presentation. So you kind of got to listen and look at the words at the same time. So WordPress designers are everywhere. Check out Upwork and Fiverr. Okay, those are 2 websites where you can find lots of designers for very low cost. I would recommend picking one that spoke your language. There's a lot of, on those 2 sites especially, a lot of freelancers that don't speak English that well. So just keep that in mind as you're choosing which freelancer to work with. In less than 2 weeks, with a template from ThemeForest and a WordPress designer from Upwork or Fiverr, you could have a grade A site for just a few $100. It's not, like the 90s or the 80s where, even a standard website will cost thousands and thousands of dollars. It's not like that anymore. Now, we're talking about basic site, 5 to 7 pages. There's not really any difficult integrations or what's called APIs. But this is enough information, enough features on your website to be able to drive and convert a decent amount of traffic. Okay. So a little tip: when you're searching for WordPress templates, get one that's called responsive. Responsive is the term that's used for something that's mobile friendly or iPad friendly. So the problem with all these different WordPress templates, excuse me, and all these other website templates is that sometimes a cheaper template isn't responsive, meaning it'll look good on one size screen, but if you go to an iPad, it'll look, excuse me, it'll look all jumbled. Even on an iPhone, it won't look like it makes sense at all, and that'll just be a killer for you. So be sure to invest in one that is responsive. So, what's important to the local consumer? That same study that I just told you about, that 66% of respondents like to see a quality website. Well, that same study showed that this is the order of importance of what a local consumer is looking for. Again, that was 1,200 people that were surveyed. Now, we're going to rank them from the most important to least important. This is features on your website, not as your tennis club as a whole, okay? Number one, the list of prices. Most important, okay? It is very annoying for a local person to find a website and not get the prices. So they don't have any idea what your memberships are. They don't know if they're looking at $80 a month or $500 a month. So be sure to list your prices. I know there's a lot of clubs out there that don't do that, but I would recommend you do that. Give them the information up front. Also, the list of services. I was in a tennis club the other day doing my initial assessment, and I walked downstairs in this basement, and there was this huge, beautiful gym. I couldn't believe it. I was not expecting that. I said, is this for employees only? And the guy said, no, this is for everybody. And I couldn't believe it. I said, why was this not on your website? I had no idea. There was thousands of dollars worth of equipment, huge, lots of square footage taken up for this club, and it wasn't listed anywhere as a service on their website. So make sure you list all your services. Easy to find contact information. I can't tell you how frustrating it is when there's no contact link. That should be the easiest thing to do for your website, is to add a way for somebody to contact you, whether it's a contact form or even a less recommended site, your straight up email address. And I say that because you'll probably get spammed if you put your email on there, but have at least a contact form and an easy way for someone to find it. Put the physical address of your business, driving directions, customer testimonials on your site. Surprisingly, I thought this would have been higher, but a customer testimonial is, remember, this is from least to, or most to least important. So the customer testimonials was right there in the middle. Clear photographs of your business, super important. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. And a personal message from the manager. This is something that ranks as like the least important or one of the least important, but it's always, not always, very often one of the main nav bar sections on the website is a message or an About Us page. An About Us page should talk about the club as a whole, not a message from the owner, okay? And links to social media profiles. Now, you might think, well, everybody has social media. Why wouldn't you list it on your site? Because this is not a consumer-to-consumer social media, okay? Business to consumer is a lot different, all right? It's more of a way to get traffic to go to your site rather than site from your traffic to your social networks, okay? So that's why it's least important. People really don't want to see that on your website or necessarily follow you. They'll want to follow and look into your website if they're on your social network, but not the other way around, okay? And I get some questions. I'm seeing them on the side here, but we'll address those after we stop the recording. That's kind of the benefit of getting it live, is I'll answer some of your questions at the end. Okay, what your competition isn't doing and how you can get a leg up. Let's talk about some of the major things. Number one, speed testing. Regarding your website, large nationwide studies show that slow websites are one of the top 3 conversion killers. And when I talk about a conversion, I mean you get a traffic piece to your website, maybe 300 a day, and you might only get 5 phone calls, okay? All of those, that 295 missing pieces of traffic that never called, those are conversion losses is what they're called. So your conversion is the percentage of traffic versus the amount of leads or in this case phone calls that we did or didn't get. So what you can do to check the speed of your website is go to this free tool. It's called tools.pingdom.com. Now what it will do, all you have to do is put in your website address, and it's going to tell you the major areas of your website that you should change or get your developer to change that will make your website go a lot faster. It'll load faster on iPads and on phones. It'll load faster on desktops and all these other tools that are being used out there. There's no less than a dozen different screen sizes and computer types to use. Okay, so once you're able to fix those, your conversions will go up because people just don't have the attention span now that they do even 3 or 5 or 7 years ago. Every year, the attention span studies that are done show that every year we're losing seconds and seconds of attention spans from consumers. So make sure that you go to get some speed testing done. I've never talked to a tennis club that says, yeah, we do regular speed testing. So get that speed testing done and you're going to get a leg up on your competition. You're going to have a faster website that's more conversion oriented. And not active on YouTube. I cannot tell you, I would say probably of every 10 tennis clubs I go to, only one, maybe 1.5 post regularly on YouTube. And when I say regularly, I mean at least once a month. Okay, why should you be active on YouTube? Because it has 1 billion users and it reaches more 18 to 49-year-olds than any cable network in the US. Let me repeat that in case if you're dozing off or doing something else right now. Listen, YouTube reaches more 18 to 49-year-olds than any cable network in the US. Do you know how powerful that statement is? And if you're not on YouTube, you are not reaching the 18 to 49-year-old demographic like you should. It is the world's second largest search engine, but it's also the third most visited website on the planet. On average, there are 1 billion mobile views per day. Mobile views per day, 1 billion. All right, so if that doesn't convince you, then I don't think anything is. So definitely get on YouTube. It's not that hard. Your iPhone, your Android can take a simple YouTube video. Now it's recommended you go to Walmart or Target, get a $10 or $15 iPad. I'm sorry, a tripod, and get a video recorder and get a camcorder and shoot some good tennis videos. Get your coach to do a couple tips and make it consistent. Put it on your calendar, and every 2 weeks, or maybe even more if possible, do a nice YouTube video. What your competition isn't doing, basic SEO. I would say from the tennis clubs that I talked to, 8 out of every 10 haven't done basic SEO. Now, if you have a WordPress site, you can download a free plugin. It's called Yoast, Yoast. It's on the screen there. Now, Yoast will let you know, like in a stoplight style type of indication, if your SEO is good or not for this particular page. So it'll say green, yellow, and red, just like a stoplight. And in this particular case, Yoast will tell you red meaning you need to fix this right away. Yellow meaning be careful, this could use some improvement, but not necessary. And green means, it's a go. What you're doing is good. And they'll evaluate dozens of different features of every blog post, of every page on your site, and is totally free. So if you have a WordPress site, please download Yoast and just see if you're getting green, yellow, or red indicators in every post, okay? Some of them are easy to fix. Again, if they're not, give us a call or go to Fiverr.com, Upwork, and ask for an SEO professional. Ask for referrals. I was talking to a club owner the other day, and I said, well, how often do you ask for referrals? And they said, well, every now and then when it's in conversation, I'll ask them politely, but it's not really something I like to do. Okay, well, if you don't like to sell memberships, then okay, that's fine. Then maybe you shouldn't be a tennis club owner. But tennis club owners are all about driving membership. And one of the best and easiest and lowest cost ways to do that is from referrals. And at least ask for a referral in your newsletter. And by the way, if you don't have a monthly newsletter, get one now. They're almost free. Go to MailChimp or any other newsletter platform. Sign up, use their templates, type in a few pieces of text, and then ask for a referral. Guys, this is basic, easy stuff. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. And the easiest type of business to get from someone is from a happy customer that says, hey, join this club. I'm a member and I love it. Okay? Here's a secret and easy marketing method to convert prospects into members for $6 or less. Digital is hot, but remember, classy is still in. You want to melt your prospects? Nope. It's not a text message, okay? Do not send a text to somebody. It's not bad if you send a text, but you have to tell them before you leave that in-person interview that, hey, I'm going to follow up with you via text. But there is a classier way to follow up with your prospects. Are you ready for this? Handwritten letter. Okay, but Mike, I don't have time to handwrite all the letters to all the prospects. And by the way, if I haven't defined a prospect yet, a prospect is someone who comes into your club, grabs some collateral material, a piece of paper, talks to one of your employees about becoming a member, maybe calls and gives you their information but doesn't come in. That's a prospect, okay? That is someone who is waiting to be sold a membership, okay? And you think, well, maybe a handwritten letter is too much. I'm just so busy running my club and my employees. I get it. Everyone's busy, but there's a way to do it now. Okay, use maillift.com. There's some other companies out there that are competing companies, but MailLift is really the name brand in the space. MailLift will handwrite a letter to all your prospects. You just give them the prospects and you give them, you type them an email of what you want, and it could be the same email, the same letter every time, just with a change of the name. And they will write, mail, and hand stamp a letter to your prospect for $6 a piece. Now, that's the most expensive plan they have. If you do like 50 or 100 a month, they'll go down in cost. You can get it down to like $2 or $3. But for $6 or less, that will convert more members, and something your other competition, your other athletic clubs in the area is not doing, that will really strike a chord with your prospects. Okay, let's talk about how to blog correctly. Now, to my surprise, I would say maybe 3 out of every 10 clubs I talk to do blog. Now, I'm not going to mention anything about the quality of the blog, but I like the attempt to blog. Now, there's a difference between blogging and then blogging for traffic. Okay, and we're going to talk a little bit about the difference between the two. You see that baby on a motorcycle right there? That's personality. That's what your blog has to have, is your brand personality of your club. And if you don't have one, then get one. Create one brand voice style for your club and just be consistent and go with that brand and style. It's best if one person takes ownership of the blog and just goes with it. Okay? Reviews every blog post, whether you're writing or not. That person who's the voice and the style of the blog should do that final pass through of the blog. Do the keyword research. So Google has a keyword tool, if you don't know. If you have a Google account, you just type in the Google keyword tool and it'll come up. You type in the name of your city or area, and tennis is the keyword, and see what the search traffic is for that area for that particular keyword. Okay, and try to integrate that into your blogs. Now, if your city has a big event that they do every March, whether it's tennis related or not, blog about it, okay? If your city has a local restaurant that's hot or a new business that's coming up, blog about it. Okay, what you want to do is you want to drive local traffic. Sometimes tennis club owners, as you would know as an established tennis club owner, they get traffic in. They're not necessarily looking for tennis clubs. They just want a place to go. Maybe they're new to town. They want to meet people. They want to take up the sport of tennis, but you might have not have found them doing research online because they're not, posting about it on Facebook or doing research on the internet about it. But if they stumble across a great blog post or a food review from a new restaurant and say, hey, I've heard about this tennis club. My coworker is at it. I'm new to town. He's a member of the club. Let me go down and check it out. And who knows, maybe they'll use a fitness facility and sign up and be a member that way, or use the pool or whatever facility you have. So do keyword research and be sure to include all the events and just go through the calendar of local events in your area and really just do some keyword research on your Google keyword tool. And that's how you blog to get traffic. And be sure to post consistently. Put in your calendar at least once a month, if not twice a month, to do a blog post. Now, there's a process behind this. We at Tennis Club Marketing have a content calendar we keep where we set up the draft, we have it reviewed, we have it SEO'd. There's a 6-step process for every blog post, but you don't have to get that systematic about it. Just write a blog post, always get it reviewed by somebody else. It doesn't have to be a professional copywriter like we do, but at least an employee, someone who might be a wordsmith a little bit or write good emails, get them to review it and then post it out. Now, you can get your post copywritten. I always recommend you do that, but it's not required. But that's how you blog to get traffic, is to really get a well-written blog post. Why? Because Google is so sophisticated now, and Bing, that their algorithms know good grammar, all right? And that they do factor that into their search engine rankings. Basic SEO will get you 80% of there. Now, I'm an SEO expert. I've been studying SEO algorithms ever since Google used to patent their algorithms and post them online. But I'll tell you that basic SEO will get you 80% there for the blog, okay? Make it shareable, social buttons. You always want to have a Facebook and Twitter post available on your blog post. Why? Because the more people that share your blog post, the more Google and Bing and those other search engines will find it relevant. Because the more backlinks you get, those are called backlinks and social signals, that will boost your original blog post. You might think, well, I don't want people sharing my blog post because of this reason or that reason. Believe me, there's very little reason why you would not want someone to share your blog post. Put the Facebook and Twitter buttons in very visible formats right on the front and center of every blog post you do. Design, design, design. I'm going to emphasize this again with one more: design. Okay. The quality of design affects your traffic. Now, why is that important? SEO has an algorithm component in there that has to do with how long people stay on your site and how much they click on your site. So it's called TOS, time on site. Time on site, the number one killer is design. So how long someone spends on your site is how well your site is designed, even more so than the content. So get it well designed, okay? And there's other factors that I could talk about right now, but we're a little short on time. The design is a major aspect of your blog post. It shouldn't just be all text and throw up a picture, all right? You should really work on that photoshopped picture. If it's just a picture you haphazardly took with your phone, go to one of those sites I just mentioned, like Fiverr or Upwork, find yourself a designer, get it professionally redone, and put it up, or even a video. Review stats and adjust accordingly. Traffic is no good unless you understand how it's getting to you and how long they're staying and what they're clicking on. It's imperative that at least once a month you go into your analytics, whatever platform you're using, most likely it's Google Analytics, and review how your traffic is coming to your site, who's sharing it, how you can get more backlinks by understanding who's coming to your site. You'll know you can reach out to them, you can follow them on social networks, you can find out where your funnels are going. So you can find out how they're getting to your site and what they're clicking on next. Okay, you have to understand that in order to get traffic to your site and keep it growing. So that's the end for today. We're going to have more webinars in the future for sure. Again, if you want to really learn how to attract, convert, and delight Tennis Club members, go ahead and go to tennisclubmarketing.com. We're always here for you for any questions you have. Best of luck.